All right. Happy Sunday morning, everyone. We are live on Leftover Cake Chat. Thanks for joining us. We have a special guest today. Kristen, go ahead and introduce Christy.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome, Christy Curley from Ohio. Thanks for being with us. We know you were up late last night at a wedding yourself.
Yes.
All right. Well, we are going to cheers to those 3 a.m. mornings when you have events. So we are going to drink champagne. I know you just got up, so we'll let you have your coffee. I know you drank a few glasses this morning.
Yes, I have. couple few.
Thanks so much for being here, Christy. I know we were just chatting, and I'm in awe of the size of your creative space and how many projects how vast your area is that you cover projects for. Do you want to talk a little bit about your creative team and the area that you cover for signage and weddings?
Sure. So we are Chrissy Lane Designs, or I am actually, and then I have 5 designers that are underneath me. And we do custom design and for weddings that basically is everything on your Pinterest board as a dream. And then we make it a reality and rent it out for your space. And then on our sign part of it, which is the topic of today, we offer rentals of signs that are generic. And then we also offer custom signs that are basically made for your wedding day, that are specific for your day. If it's something that we can re-rent, we offer it for rent. And if not, then it's a purchase.
Perfect. Good morning, Gail. Thanks for joining us. So tell us, what are some of the craziest signs that you've had to make?
So I have, I've done a couple. So I did an airplane theme wedding about 2.5 years ago, and every sign was like, the bar sign was like "Cool Your Jets," and it had an airplane in it, and it had a jet plane, excuse me, not an airplane. I would be corrected by anybody around here, but a jet plane that was on it, and it had the fan that was on it. So it's a design that was specific for that wedding. We did one that was, instead of finding your seat, it was, collect your boarding pass. So it's kind of like different themes of the whole wedding and stuff. So it basically brings the guest into a place that's something completely different, so they can get into the atmosphere and the mood of the wedding and that kind of stuff. So that's just one of the fun ones.
That's so cool. Now, did they meet on an airplane? Was one of them a pilot? Was there any connection to that?
Yeah. So they met in a plane in coach, and they were both going to a business conference in 2 different cities, and then they coordinated their connecting flight back to be together. So after they met going to the one spot to Denver, and then they branched off of Denver, and then coordinated their connecting flight back to Denver, and then met in Denver, and then went again on another flight, and then that was their first date.
That is so cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. And guys, all week long on our posts, we've really been talking about personalizing the signs. And, there's so many different types of signage. You have signs to welcome people to your ceremony. You have, the table numbers. You have the signs on the welcome table themselves. You can do mirrors. We were just talking about burlap from like 10 years ago. There's a whole bunch of ways to do that. And the signage is really, the opportunity for you to personalize and welcome your guests that way. So That is such a cool story.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think it's the first step, right, that people see. I know for us recently, it's what is welcoming them if they're just getting to an area, especially in a destination wedding, and finding direction to the ceremony, welcoming to the ceremony. You see the cute signs that say, don't pick a side. We love all of you, and things like that. That's always funny, because people are so used to the church where, right on the left, groom's on the right, not the way with typical destination weddings. So the signage is helpful for things like that. Christy, do you have where you actually have to do the table assignments, like on mirrors, and handwrite them? And
Yeah. So we do the custom seating charts. We have several that we've done in the past. Some of them are the mirrors, of course, with writing. We do the clear acrylic free floating ones, which is the funnest ones because I've suspended sheets of acrylic from 20 feet up in the air and dropped them down so that they look like they're just floating in space. There's nowhere that they could be hanging from, and it's kind of fun to do that. We have done acrylic favors that also are seating our place cards and that kind of stuff. So that gold ornate ornaments we're doing right now a Cincinnati skyline wedding, which is the Cincinnati skyline with the guest name and table number, and it's all acrylic engraved. And it's really kind of just fun to be able to create this with the bride, and then we make everything in house. So we make it all here, and then they can come in the process of the middle of it and see it happening. And they're just excited because all of a sudden their vision has come to life and stuff like that. So seating charts are huge. I encourage you, even if you have open seating or don't want to have assigned tables, you still have reserved tables for family members up in the front or near wherever you would like to put them so that you know where your family is. Because even when you get in that situation and you're uncomfortable, it's always nice to have that safe spot to go to get away from that crazy aunt that you really didn't want and stuff like that.
I love it. We all think the same. These are things that Kristen and I tell our clients all the time. Yeah. That's hilarious. I love it.
Thank you.
Great. Have you ever like finished your masterpiece and then you get like the panicked call from the bride being like, someone else is coming and I have to add them to a table, or someone dropped off and we have to remove them? Like, I'm sure you've had to redo things, which is just painful. I know.
Yeah. So typically what we do, it's happened up to the day before of the wedding and a lot of times, since I'm local or one of our designers is local, we go out and we stay where the wedding is for one day prior to fix any mishaps or hiccups and stuff. So it gives the customer that service. We work with a ton of planners, mostly. It's typically not a bride and us relationship at that point. The planners have called us and we basically just stay where that wedding location is at, just so that they know that everything's good, and we assist them in getting that decor just the way that the bride wanted it to look and that kind of stuff. So
that's so great. You're such an asset. As planners, it's always, we want to make sure we're putting out there, like you said, exactly what the clients want. And if you're creating all of this special vision for them, I think it's awesome that your team actually stays on site and helps to make that come to life. That's great.
I've just found it a lot easier, and I've worked in the industry now for almost 14 years. And at first we just used to drop and run. And I just found that giving that customer service is great, and the customer enjoys it. And then they tell everybody about it. And it may not be me that they're telling them about, but it's the planner they're telling them about because they got great service. And then that planner remembers and refers more. So it's just word of mouth and referrals and stuff. And it makes a difference.
That's great. And you also do shipping. We want everyone to know as well. So you have enough lead time. Obviously you work locally a lot, but you also do shipping. So if one of our brides from Florida or California wants something, we just have to make sure we give you enough lead time to get that product shipped. Yeah,
usually we request at least, we love to have 5 to 6 weeks before the wedding, because then we can do all of the custom design and make it just be perfect. More time is great, but if you're running in a crunch time in the last minute and you saw something on Pinterest and you really want that sign, if you're away 2 weeks at least, just because of shipping, I don't want to put it in the mail and then do priority and the U.S. Post Office takes it to Bermuda before they get it to California and that. So I just don't trust them. We do ship other methods as well, but it's just nice to have that little bit of cushion before we actually have to ship it and stuff like that. So, and if you're local, it's usually a week that we can flip them. So, but as the progression of the wedding season rolls, we get busier and busier and busier. So
that's awesome.
Great. What is your favorite signage to make?
I love acrylics and doing the clear acrylic signs. We have in-house, we have 2 laser engravers. So we laser engrave a lot of acrylic. And then we also do vinyl and then paint signage and stuff like that. So for me, it looks classy. It's clean and crisp. It's very on trend. And you can do a lot of mixed metal signage holders with the acrylic. And it just gives it that ability to be something amazing. And that one of our favorite ones is using pipe and acrylic, and the industrial stainless steel, copper, black pipe. And then we've been known to paint it gold, pink, purple, orange, and black, every color you can imagine. But it's just nice and crisp, and it just looks good. It's pretty, and that's what your day is about, is being pretty and just over the top and stuff like that. And we love the brides that have these wild, adventurous things that think outside the box, and we're like, okay, let's do it, and we've done the clear acrylic suspension. It was a 4x8 sheet of acrylic that was a seating chart. We suspended it 20 feet from the ceiling, and it looked amazing and stuff. The pictures are on my Instagram of it, and it just was like, whoa, that's so cool, and it reflected in the light, and the guests were just like, this is so cool. They were dancing behind it and stuff like that. And I'm like, it's a seating chart, it's nothing special, but it's kind of fun to see and that kind of stuff. And your guest enjoyment is the best part about the day, because they remember the day then, and they just want to tell everybody about what they saw at your wedding and stuff like that. So yeah.
That's great. Yeah, that sounds really pretty. I've actually never had a seating chart, I don't think, suspended from air. I've had some pretty crazy ones, but that would be a first.
Yeah, that would definitely interesting. All right. Well, we have a couple minutes left. So, Chrissy, remind us what your website is, how we find you on Facebook, how we find you on Instagram. And one quick question that actually I just saw was budget. Brides always want to know budget. So, what average budget? I know you can do minimal, you can do extravagant, kind of general, center of the road. What could somebody, expect to spend?
So our 24x30 acrylic signs are $85 personalized, and that's with shipping and everything else. So that's a basic welcome sign that's right in the entrance of your wedding. Our table numbers are $8 a number, and we do all kinds of numbers. We have 77 that we rent, and then we have, I would say, probably we can do any design, so we can custom it as much as you want to go custom or as little as you want to go custom. And we love to do, on that side note, I know you're under time, but with table numbers, one of the things we sell our table numbers for is anniversary numbers instead of table numbers. So if you have a table and you have 20 tables, that's 20 anniversaries that you get to celebrate with your spouse. Keep your table numbers and take a picture every year on your anniversary to remember that moment, and then put that table number with that picture. And then you have a wall of memories. And my husband and I did it 28 years ago. We actually only had 16 tables, so we only had 16 years. And then I make numbers, so we've added numbers, but they're not the same. But my kids now are 25 and 22, and they walk in the house and they see that, and it's the history of their whole life. And what an amazing testimony that is for your kids and your generation and the generations to come. And even their friends are like, this is so cool because your parents have been together forever. So just something to think about, because marriage is forever. It's not just a, temporary statement and that kind of stuff. So just fun.
I love that. That's such a great idea. We're definitely going to blog about that for you and send people to you through social media. So thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Absolutely. So guys, it is ChrissyLaneDesign.com. You can check out her website. You can also find her Chrissy Lane Design on Instagram and Facebook. So make sure you check that out. We are so excited that you joined us today. Thank you so much. You have a great presence. Your 14 years in the industry definitely shows you know what you're talking about. And I would be happy to send any of our clients your way, and anybody watching, definitely check her out and see how she can do to help. And honestly, the price is right. She does a great job, and she'll make it fit within your budget. So I know that's always a concern.
Yep. Thank you. And thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you reaching out at the last minute. And I'm sorry I'm not more awake, but 3 a.m. wedding last night was a little high up there. So, but we're good. So.
Erin, we were so excited. We didn't even eat cake this morning.
Oh yeah, we didn't. I have carrot cake.
I have carrot cake too. Why is mine big?
I had somebody that knew how to cut the cake right this time.
These are actually little mini 2 layers, and they're so stinking cute. And they literally probably are like the size of a Solo cup. So I'm going to have a bite, and then I'm sure Dave is going to eat the rest of it. But we can't go without eating cake. It's tradition.
Yeah, leftover cake. Christy, I'm sure you probably see all these events and all this leftover cake, and
I usually
we just
take
thought
it
it was.
with me. They're like, you want cake? Yeah, I have 5 teenage boys. Let's go.
Yeah, see,
Oh my
there's
God.
always leftover cake. So people always laugh at us when we say that, and we're eating cake the next day. But I actually really wanted to eat that last night, but I was like, okay, I gotta wait. I gotta wait till 10 a.m. I gotta wait.
Well, thank
All
you
right,
again.
well, yeah, thank you again, everyone watching. Thank you. You can find Christy at ChrissyLaneDesign.com. All right, thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next Sunday.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.